And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. The world's richest man has shelled out $44 billion to be in charge of Twitter. The move will make the social media company private now. In a statement, Elon Musk said, "Free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is a digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated. Twitter has tremendous potential. I look forward to working with the company and the community of users to unlock it." Now, this will not only affect Twitter users, but the world of social media, and is exactly the reason why you should care about this buyout.
You know what? Twitter is the newspaper of social media, and it is the largest modern day digital newspaper of our time. I think it's a huge move on Elon's part, considering that him alone has 83 million followers on the platform. So I think it's a marriage.
And Dietrich, we're talking about a deal worth $44 billion. Is Twitter worth that amount?
Well, he's definitely brought in more than the actual value. And so with the shares going for several dollars less per share, he's paying a premium, but that allows him to take control. And so one of the areas where his ability to take this possibly in a more private direction is to reduce some of the SEC oversight. So the value then becomes that same newspaper idea that she was just speaking about, where he's able to promote his products and spread his message as a primary user of that medium.
Now, guys, we've heard him say that this is all about free speech. He wants to promote free speech. Do we think that's a red herring? And this is more about Elon Musk just owning Twitter?
I mean, a free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated. And I definitely think he's trying to control the messaging here and have full control privately without any SEC regulations. And so whatever free speech he wants to promote, that's what we're going to see.
Absolutely. And the same thing is this, what the value is as tied to the stock price or the market capitalization is going to be different than what the subjective or qualitative value is to Elon in promoting Tesla, SpaceX accomplishments, and other areas. So he's had this public feud with Bill Gates about shorting his stock. And so now he's got a platform where he can sort of push messaging in a very subtle way to millions of consumers.
But Elon's not subtle at all. And so we already know that. And this says a lot.
Flashy and in your face, Elon Musk. So what will the future look like for Twitter, for the users out there, for the employees who may be there?
You know, Twitter itself is one of the most active platforms on social media. It is, like I said, the largest modern digital newspaper of our time. I think more users are going to be re-engaged. Users like me that are not active on Twitter every day are going to hop back on and see what the Twitter world is doing. So I think it's going to drive up engagement and user activity.
Dietrich, from my perspective, you know, and I use Twitter, I'm on Twitter, but it seems so damn boring to me. You know, unless there's some major breaking news,
right?
Should there be a revamp of Twitter? Because it's just boring as hell to me.
I think that's one of the things he's talked about is that idea of adding an edit button, of modifying some of those ideas where when you have a publicly traded company and you go through boards of directors and bureaucracy and a number of testing with internal employee opinions, he's going to be able to unilaterally move in, sweep in, make some changes to boost it. Again, as we look at that idea, no, he's not subtle at all. And so as we look at some of those areas where he's going to be able to inject energy and bring that enthusiasm back, it's going to help his not only his value in that market capitalization, but it's also going to draw in more attention, and of course then slide many of those interesting people into his other business interests.
I absolutely agree with that. And he is going to optimize the platform just like he has all of his other brands and products. I think he's going to bring it up to speed to today's times and as it comes to social media. So it'd be interesting to see what he does. And I also would like to see some of these users that he did mention he wants to bring back. I think he said he wanted to bring back some users that had been banned from the platform. And I'm curious as to see who he brings back to Twitter.
You think former President Trump will be one of them, or what?
I think so. I think if that's my prediction, but let's see. Call me back on to talk about that if it happens.
Right, and some of these folks have been banned for different reasons. So it depends on the reasons, but the theater of Donald Trump and Roger Stone is definitely something that could draw more attention to Twitter and bring back some of those users, and again boost that price per share, which helps his bottom line across the board for his businesses. So I think there's a huge value in that, but I don't think he's going to be bringing back Hamas. I don't think he's going to be bringing back some of these splinter groups from Russia. Definitely more of the theater folks.
Right.
Now, what I've heard recently is that some journalists are now saying they're leaving Twitter because he is now the sole owner. Do you think that will have an impact, or do you think the journalists are just going too far?
You know, Twitter is a popular place for journalists and for media. I think that that's where they live because it is such a newsworthy social media platform. It will be interesting to see if they hop over to another platform or if another platform emerges that's more media friendly. But I think that it depends on what he does with the platform itself.
All right,
you can shoot yourself in the foot with that. Yeah.
We want to thank you both for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored. Always good to see you both. Thank you.
Thank you.